What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Edwards, live from Brooklyn, New York. This is Panthers Pride Television. Look, we know that the NFL annual meeting is going on currently in Palm Beach, Florida. Last year it was in Las Vegas. Now they're having an annual coaching summit where all the NFL coaches meet up at this one set location, and also NFL owners meet up at this location to discuss rule changes, competition committee changes, etc. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Panthers Pride Television. So there is a couple of concerning issues surrounding this one superstar receiver that I've talked about for quite some time, and his name is Ted McMillan. There's some weird comments going on right now that's resurfacing social media. A video that was posted that was recorded in 2023 is finally hitting the surface days and weeks before the draft. It's not abnormal. We've seen it happen with what's my guy name? The left tackle from Laramie Tunsil, the left tackle where he had a whole high mask, a gas mask, where he was smoking weed and it ended up plummeting his stock. And now we're seeing possibly the same situation from 2023 about Ted McMillan. This was his exact comments from the video that he was getting interviewed. A video from 2023 of Ted McMillan during the interview. I don't like watching film either. I don't need to watch it by myself because we go over as a receiver group. Now, I'm going to be honest. Sitting here as a Carolina Panthers fan, this is not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear anybody ahead of the draft talk about they don't need to watch film. You don't want to draft anybody at the 8th overall pick and they don't like to watch film. I don't want to draft anybody at the 8th overall spot and they're not putting in the extra work. If you're telling me in 2023, this is two seasons ago, if you're telling me during the interview that you don't watch a lot of film because you go over as a receiver group, man, this is not good at all, man. I mean, currently speaking, his stock is going to be plummeting. I mean, if you look at the numbers, you watch him, he can ball. But this is not looking good, especially after what Steve Smith said about how he is not the number one receiver in this draft. When you go back and you look at the numbers and just the film, he is phenomenal. He's eye-popping. But this is very concerning. If I'm going to invest millions and millions of dollars into you as an entity, if I'm going to invest a high top 10 selection in you, I expect you to go the extra mile. I expect you to be a day one starter. I expect you to be on my team for years to come. You see it with the Jamar Chase. You see it with the AJ Green. I mean, what's my guy's name? T. Higgins. You see it with the Justin Jefferson, a CeeDee Lamb, hell, even a Chris Olave, even with his brain injuries. You see it with all these receivers. Mike Evans is going to retire as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If I'm wasting, or I might even want to say wasting, if I'm going to select you at the 8th overall spot or any top 10 spot, I need to make sure that you're a bona fide superstar. You're seeing it with Kyle Pitts and the Atlanta Falcons. That was a huge swing and miss. We don't have the luxury to miss on a weapon that could possibly change Bryce Young's trajectory. We saw him elevate and improve last year, but we're looking for more improvement. And this is what is going to cause your stock to drop. I mean, how can you say that you're the best receiver in the nation, but you don't like watching film? How can you say you are the best talent and you know what a defense is trying to do to you and you don't watch the film? Or you only watch the film with the receiver group? Like, I was a football player. There was a select time that we watched football during college. Yes, you might watch it in the morning time. Yes, you might watch it after practice. But that's what? Out of your day, 24 hours, maybe 5 hours maximum. And you don't want to go home and watch tape on a defensive backs that you're going up against, on a defense that you know is going to highlight you in college football. We all knew what type of prospect you was this season. And this is not ideal for you to say or to even have this video resurface from 2023. I understand that you are a superb talent, but there's more to it. These guys at the next level are all dogs. These guys at the next level do the extra work. These guys at the next level watch film. That's how the greats become the greats. That's how Luke Kuechly was such a great linebacker. They went in there and they put in the extra time. Like, for you to say that, I understand it was 2023. You were in college, but it was arrogant. Very, very arrogant of you. So right now, I don't even know what the hell I want at the A spot, but this is no go. No go, no good right now, currently speaking. Jawan Bentley is finally hitting free agency. See, now, the thing with me, when I say stuff, you gotta take it to the bank. I told y'all a while back that we might be trading for him. And lo and behold, before we even trade for him, he gets released. Now, we know the moves that the New England Patriots made. They took Milton Williams from us. They have made a lot of improvements on the defensive side. But Jawan Bentley was a guy that I was expecting that we possibly would trade for. Now, last year, yes, the numbers are what the numbers are. They were not the best. But he was nursing an injury. But if you just go back and just look at his numbers, the year before this, he was steadily improving. If you're looking for a guy to replace your Shaq Thompson, this is your guy. You can sign up for a veteran's minimum and keep it pushing. He's a guy that's going to go out here and compete. He's a guy that's going to go out here and watch film. He's a guy that's going to go out here and play sideline to sideline. You pair him up with the Josie Jules. You got a nice, solid linebacker core in the NFC South. We know all the moves that we made defensively this offseason, so why not just go ahead and just re-up at the linebacker position? We know that we did not stop the run. We know that we were the worst historical statistic team in NFL history. 534 total points. The worst in NFL history. You got a guy that you no longer have to trade for. I talked about him weeks ago, but now you don't have to trade for him. All you have to do is just go out here and just take a chance, man. I know Dan Morgan is in the situation where he might take this risk, and that's a well risk that could be greatly, greatly rewarded. But with that being said, let's just transition even a little more. We have met with Matthew Golden. For everything that I said about Ted McMillan, there's a guy who can be looked at as one of the top receivers in this draft. Matthew Golden. You guys know how I feel about Jaden Higgins. You know how I feel about Isaiah Bond. But this was the guy that was lining up across Isaiah Bond. Matthew Golden, a top prospect, ran a 4.29, averaged 17 yards per catch, 61 yards per game, 58 receptions, 987 receiving yards, and 9 total touchdowns this past season. Now, his numbers aren't the same as a Ted McMillan, but he also was sharing the field with the Isaiah Bond. Ted McMillan was not sharing the field with a guy the caliber of Isaiah Bond. Now, I'm at a point right now, currently speaking, we might need to go defense with the 8th overall selection. Matthew Golden is a first-round talent, but he really reminds me of Marquise Brown. I don't know if I want to take a risk on a guy that small, that high. We're talking about the 8th overall selection. If he's not a Devontae Smith. He's not a Jalen Waddle. Those were guys that you knew what you were getting, and they've been producing. Now, I'm not saying he cannot be. Don't get me wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But currently speaking, I don't know if you really want to select Matthew Golden with the 8th overall pick. Can he pan out? Absolutely. Can he be good as Chris Olave? Absolutely. Can he be good as any of the other receivers that we got on our roster? Absolutely. And if you know me, I believe that we need another receiver that can take the top off. He is that guy. He reminds me of a John Mechie receiver that Bryce Young had in Alabama. He reminds me of a Jameson Williams, a real burner that Bryce Young had. And if you just go back and just look at the weapons that he had his disposal in Alabama, Matthew Golden fits that frame. So if I'm just looking at what Bryce excelled at in college and what he has excelled at in the pros, Matthew Golden might be the exception that you can go and take at the 8th overall spot. But Ted McMillan right now, man, his stock is falling rapidly. And it's all because of just some comments that he said back in 2023. Now, like I said, I don't want to hold it over him. He was young. But when you got a guy like Matthew Golden, who's another Texas superstar prospect, man, what's the risk, man? Right now, it's just back and forth. So, Panthers Pride, we out, baby.